Every day, it seems, there have been new revelations and allegations involving Harvey Weinstein, his company, and now a spate of criminal investigations.
Harvey Weinstein cut the last link to the management of his former media empire as the sex scandal widens. And this morning, his brother Bob Weinstein is also facing a sexual harassment allegation.
Los Angeles police now investigating a new claim of sexual assault, and yet another Oscar winner opening up now about her encounters with Weinstein.
We're back with the panel. Kimberly Guilfoyle, we just talked about the situation at Fox News. You have the sheer volume of allegations now against Harvey Weinstein. Criminal probes, 6 women charging rape, many others charging other things. Beyond Weinstein, why has this become such a huge cultural story in your
Well, because there's now such a bright light, shone on it, where people are like, okay, let's really talk about this, let's make sure. And then courageous women coming forward have encouraged others to come forward. And you've really seen this, especially with the Weinstein case, because one after the next, you build on strength. And so you've seen now all of them coming forward to share and give their voice, and having prosecuted cases of sexual assault in Los Angeles District Attorney's Office as assistant DA, and in San Francisco. We take these cases very seriously, and this is not just, sexual harassment. There are specific allegations of sexual assault and misconduct that now there's multiple investigations, including internationally with Scotland Yard. So this is just basically scratching the surface of this case. We're going to hear a lot more about it.
Right. Originally, Shelby, I thought that it was just because you had famous actresses involved, names like Angelina Jolie and Gwyneth Paltrow. But now I think it is just, and maybe all these other cases, which also stretch back to David Letterman, who kind of got a pass for his conduct with his own staff. I think it has just touched some kind of cultural nerve. Your thoughts?
It absolutely has, and it, in some ways, it's this perfect media story. It's Hollywood. You have glamorous actresses, as you said. Terrible, terrible allegations, stories you never wanted to hear, but they're real and they exist. And I think that's why so many women have come forward. There's power in numbers, as Kim said, one after the other. Once you hear someone else is courageous enough to do this, I think these women feel they are able to do it as well. And it's not just with him, it's with other producers. We just saw an Amazon head get fired because of the same exact thing. I think the dominoes will continue to fall. But generally, the Me Too movement and just this empowering women movement we've seen online is something that I think we wouldn't have seen had only one person come forward.
More on that next segment, but Jessica Tarloff, you have other people now coming out who knew and admitting they knew, and one classic example is the director Quentin Tarantino, who worked a lot with Harvey Weinstein, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and all those movies, telling the New York Times he knew for a fact because his former girlfriend, Mia Sorvino, the actress, and another actress told him about it, and he knew about the settlement with another actress named Rose McGowan. He says to the Times he feels ashamed. I knew enough to do more than I did. Tarantino says, I wish I'd taken responsibility for what I heard. If I had done the work I should have done then, I would not have had to work with him. What I did was marginalize the incidents. Anything I say now will sound like a crappy excuse. Okay, crappy excuse, too little, too late.
Way better than what a lot of other men have said. So I applaud Quentin Tarantino for at least putting that statement out there, and hopefully more men who did know about it, because it obviously was quite an open secret, will say that instead of, I have to say something because I have a bunch of daughters.
Isn't it easier to do now after the whole world is piling on?
100% it's easier. And to the point that both Shelby and Kimberly have made, which I think is critically important, when you have powerful women taking the first step, because the gateway here was Ashley Judd, right? Someone who stood up and said, hey, this happened to me, and gave the other women in lesser positions of power cover.
And put her name behind it.
And put her name behind it.
That was key.
And the faith that the community has in her. But I just want to add that I think that the last 18 months, considering what happened during the presidential election and the Access Hollywood tape, actually was the beginning of the watershed of people talking about sex harassment more openly. And that's something that obviously happened here, as you discussed in the last segment. And I think that that's critically important to this.
This story and this issue are not going away.